Can't help that. So, I look a bit green around the gills today. Must be the lighting. Maybe it's just my complexion. I don't know. I look a bit green around the gills. I have to adjust the lighting. So anyway, hi. Hey. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrologymojo and transformational astrologer. I want to help you get your mojo back. And we know it's not just about astrology, right? We know it's about conscious awareness. We know it's about being present, taking care of our body, mind, spirit connection. And that's where I'm going to go today. That's what I'm talking about. And I have a whole tray of goodies I want to show you. Wait, if I don't knock them over first. Wait a minute. What are we talking about today? Look at that. The whole tray of goodies. I'll point them out one at a time. Hey, Leah's here. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay, you said something so wonderful about me the other day, and I don't know you, so thank you. And what's your birthday, sweetie? And Leah, we know, Scorpio. Sweet, dedicated, powerful. We have so many intuitive people that join me on these Facebook Lives. You know, I really do have to change the lighting. It looks like I dyed my hair and then I went swimming in a pool. There's green. It's the green screen effect. Hey, Kate is here. Virgo in the house. All right. So just a reminder for folks who are not familiar with me or what I chat about, and that is when I talk about astrology, the planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. When the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. Ta-da! That is so easy to remember, isn't it? Today, we have monsoons coming in this week, so I did my best to tame the beast. But that's okay. It is what it is, right? And that's okay, because that's my power. And when I'm talking about power, we're going to cover different aspects of it. And today it's, are you taking on way too much? Yeah, let me answer for you. Yeah, you are. But you can do something instead. Something else instead. Hey, Francis is here. Libra extraordinaire. Laura Lee, Aries, representing. Okay, so if you're here, come talk to me. Let me know you're here. What's your birthday? And let me know how you handle taking on too much. Some people meditate, they chill out, they take a walk, they flip on a show, they have something crunchy to eat. And I want to cover some very simple things that you can do today and every day with hope to keep you from, especially 5-5, high five, 5-5, 5-3. What's your number? Hey, baby, what's your sign? I've never done that to anyone, but I am so tempted to just walk into a bar and go, hey, baby, what's your sign? But I never will. Not in this lifetime. Anyway, so, okay. I distracted myself. Oh, here's what I wanted to talk. I just love life. I wanted to talk about, as we come to a close in this Mercury in retrograde, I'm going to talk more about this on Thursday. So do come back, 10 a.m. And that would be August 1st. I'm going to talk about how when we come out of a retrograde spin, what we can expect, like distractions and blank moments. Yeah, that green thing on my hair, it ain't looking so good to me. When we try to relax our bodies, sometimes the mind keeps going, and we can't. We could do yoga. All different kinds. I prefer hatha yoga. That's how I started out when I was 5. My dad taught me. I have friends who love a Bikram yoga. I don't know how they sweat. It's a sweat thing. I do infrared saunas, and I crank it up to 130 degrees so that it induces a fever, and that fever creates a release of toxins. But to do that in a class where you have to move around and strike your pose. Not for me. But if it's for you, go do it. And there's lots of different little tips and tricks that we are going to talk about today to help you get calm in a world that's not. In a world. The voiceover guy. My husband's on a call right now, but my husband used to direct and produce commercials and of the many things that he's done. And there's like the famous voiceover guy, starring tonight on ABC in a world where nothing changed. I forget his name. Dean will know. Anyway, Lindsay says, when I take on too much, I turn up my playlist and dance and sing. Come to my house. Let's go. Let's do it. I make songs out of serving the dog dinner. And the music. My cousin Mary once said to me, if you ever want to clean your house, put on some Aretha Franklin, and start there, and then invite company, because if you know they're coming, you're going to clean, and Aretha will help you move through it. Okay, what else do we have? Donna Eden energy programs that help me move the energy. Meditation helps. I've just learned to clean something. Helps a lot. Yes, sweeping. Oh, it's so Buddhist and Zen. Sweeping. Yeah, vacuuming, the noise gets to me, but I have to do it anyway. But sweeping, very calming and relaxing. Now, sometimes we're so keyed up because we're facing a lot of stressful moments. Now, there's two kinds of stress, and one of them is something. We're going to just do a pause time and just hang on a second, because there's something happening with the lighting, and I see something going zzz. I just don't want it to short out. Well, so when Dean's off the call, I can ask him to come in and shut off one of the lights. Sasha says, I totally woke up and swept this morning. Yes. Actually, doing small things, it's so important for your brain, especially when you're undergoing a stressful time. And the two kinds of stress. One is a type that relates to a motivational factor in your life, where you think, I'm so excited about this, and I don't want to stop until it gets done. I have a project. I want to keep going. And so it's not a negative. It's more of a motivational type. But the word stress, we equate with negativity and overwhelm. And so that's what I want to talk about, really. And the things that you can do to just think about, what are the biological factors, the environmental factors. If you are dehydrated, you could easily get highly stressed. If you live in a place where there's not a lot of sun, out here in Arizona, I don't have that problem. But our child who lives in Portland, had vitamin D levels tested last month, and they were way below normal, and depression set in. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough vitamin D. We're going to cover the list of things, but let's start with nutritional, okay? If you can give your body what it needs, and to know what it needs, 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day is what the body requires. That number doesn't calculate in my head. What does it take to equal 4,700 milligrams of potassium in a body? And the potassium sets the stage for every part of you. So you want to have balance between potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, and that whole complex creates an imbalance so quick, so fast, you don't know. So people say, oh, I hate kale, I don't want to eat green. So 5 to 7 cups of dark green leafy vegetables and or cruciferous, which would equal broccoli, Brussels sprouts, broccoli sprouts, spinach, well, actually, that's not a cruciferous, but dark green vegetables. Get your potassium. And you can also take some cream of tartar in a pinch when you're down low and you know that it's a low thing. Low levels of I'm not feeling so good. Then that a little, like a teaspoon of cream of tartar, which is very high in potassium. It is the foam that is gotten from the vats where wine is made. So it's a plant product. It comes from grapes. And you mix that with a little lemon juice or vitamin C powder and drink it back. It helps. So getting your minerals and amino acids and that kind of thing, your vitamins. Here's something. Let me just grab my tray of goodies. Put it over here so we don't hear a big crash. Well, there goes the first crash. Hang on. All right. Okay, so it's also important to and by the way, I do not endorse any product. I'm not getting paid. I'm not a representation of the ideal for you. You need to get your lab work done. You need to know what's best for you. I'm going to recommend some energy work and then these things for the body. When you're overly stressed and you can't seem to calm down your mind and you're just zooming and spinning, and those moments is what I'm particularly concerned about, because then you can go into adrenal fatigue or thyroid issue or anemia. Those three things go together like peas in a pod. Yeah. Shada, hi. Francis says, I like to spend time with a friend, get cozy in bed, listen to music very loudly. Okay. It's a cool way to chill. But now let's talk about what your body needs a little bit more of. More sun, more vitamin D, and it's D3K2. That's the combination. And you want to get organic as much as possible. Now, there are pills, capsules, spray, and drops. And D3 is fat soluble, so it means you want to eat it, consume it with fat. Now, a lot of times they come with mixed with an MCT oil or an olive oil base so that it's already in fat. But if not, I like the this brand. It's liposomal, which means, and the words might look backwards because of the way the camera is, but D3K2, and it's mine is balance protocol for life balance, and it's liposomal. And liposomal means it's in its most potent kind of structure because it's in a centrifuge with water and or another binding substance that's good for your body. And so when you take a spray, you get the full dose. So D3K2, that combination that really helps your body, along with the potassium and the magnesium and the not too much sodium, but the balance of it, and the calcium, and not too much. Again, you have to know where you're at with that stuff. But if you're having trouble, start with these things. And of course, check with your doctor, your healthcare professional, do your own research. I highly encourage you to do that. This is a hemp extract CBD oil, no THC, just the CBD. And it's a pretty high dosage. And it's really great for our dog as well. She's almost 15. So I just put about 2 drops in her food, and she groans less because, I don't know if she's in pain. We hope not, but she's calmer. And when I'm having really high stress days or days where I am feeling the spin and I just, I just can't seem to calm down. It doesn't matter what I do in the world. Like I'll meditate, I'll chant, and some other things I'm going to talk about. But then I go for the outside. Well, have I had my vitamin D? Yes. Have I had my B vitamins? And B vitamins are very important. Not cobalamin. That is synthetic. But you need to get your blood tested to find out, does your body or your DNA genetics, does your body want methyl cobalamin or does it want hydroxy? I'm a hydroxy person. And so, because I used to do methyl, cobalamin, B12 complex, and I would be exhausted and tired, and it went hand in hand with the anemia and the thyroid and the high cortisol. And, and then I finally got some testing done, and the doctor said, yeah, you need hydroxy, not methyl. No wonder you have very low vitamin D levels and B levels, which contributed to some high stress moments and some depression. But if let's say you're doing your good foods and your nutrients, and, you sweep the floor, you listen to music, you get cozy in bed, you're all good there, but you're still like, you're wired. What can you do? These are some very simple things. And, one is a melatonin. Melatonin, this is 10 milligrams. It also lowers estrogen in higher dosage, but, just for sleep purposes, 5 milligrams before bed or with dinner just starts to calm things down a little bit. And then we have, next on the plate, L-theanine. Now you can get capsules with powder, or you can get chewables. I like the Now brand chewables because, I pine for the days of Flintstone vitamins. So I get chewables whenever I can. GABA. I know that's a TV show. But it also helps your neurotransmitters and helps the dopamine and the serotonin levels. So GABA, chewables. I get the Now brand. And so when I'm feeling a little low, a little out of sorts, a little off center, there's too much going on in the world and I can't breathe, I pop a GABA. Sounds like a dance move, doesn't it? I popped a GABA. And a little L-theanine, chewable, or the powder, either one. And it helps to just, wow, I feel calmer. It takes the edge off, and it's a very wonderful thing. Now, for something that's a little bit more intense and you need something to support, especially if you are Libra rising, or you're someone who is very, very intuitive and very sensitive, and you need to calm down your adrenals, then I highly recommend ashwagandha. It's an adaptogen herb, and ashwagandha, ASHWAGANDHA, Wakanda, ashwagandha, it rules. So I take a teaspoon in any of my favorite teas or just in water. It's got a kick, herbal root base kind of flavor. Wow. And ashwagandha. It's a powder. I put it in this jar. I get the organic kind, of course, and I also make face makeup with it. That little guar gum, a little bit of cinnamon for my color. Ashwagandha made up the rest, and it relaxes my skin. It helps with wrinkles. It's amazing stuff. So it helps the adrenals from overloading and producing too much cortisol. So think about that. Now, if you take too much during the day, you might be like, yeah, life's great. But if you take it at night, with dinner, after dinner, right before bed, then your sleeps will be much better. Okay? Speaking of sleep, this is a favorite among my friends and family. It's called Deep Sleep, alcohol-free, because I don't like alcohol stuff. And it's got valerian root in it and passion flower. So they're really powerful for just calming you down. Now, the thing about deep sleep, if you're a very sensitive person, it may only work 3 days in a row. You don't want to take it every single night of your life, because then suddenly it has the opposite effect. So I can take this for 2 nights in a row and get nice and calm and sleep well. But by the 3rd, 4th night, I'm wide awake at 3 a.m. So you got to test these things. And they're herbal. Pretty good stuff. Also, now, chamomile is a favorite. It's been in our house forever. My grandmother used to grow it. There's all kinds. There's German. Anyway, you research. This is Egyptian chamomile. But you research the kind that's best for you and see what works. And when our kid was little, we used to go, hey, tea party, special tea. So Ali would call chamomile, can I have my specialty? And then just like chill out and watch Blue's Clues. Okay, I've got some comments here. A Libra, okay. Sasha uses CBD oil for anxiety. So these other things will help for anxiety as well, but you want to make sure that you have proper D levels, D3, K2, and also to use on occasion helps with cramps as well, and that is kava kava. Now there's several types of kava. You want to get the herbal extract. It's the real stuff. Make sure it's not mixed with too much stuff. It might have alcohol in it. That's hard for me, but the drops. But again, too much kava, here's another brand that we have. Too much kava is not easy on the liver. So if you were in pain or in emotional distress, you're losing a job, ended a relationship, someone passed away, you're grieving, you really just can't get a grip. Kava kava in a pinch can really help with physical pain and with emotional pain. But again, if you take the tincture, not more than 2 to 3 days at a time, give it a 2-week period, then you can do another day or two, because it literally, it used to be the shaman's drug of choice. And the easier version of kava is a yogi tea called Stress Relief. Now, I know it's written backwards, but yogi tea, they have great products. And Stress Relief, you take a cup after dinner, maybe an hour before bed, and the mellow sets in. Okay. Then it gives you a chance to breathe. Now, what I researched for people that I know who are on medication and have anxiety is something called Crocus sativus. And Crocus sativus you can get, actually, it's so easy to get because you don't need a prescription. It's an herb, and it is saffron. Comes from the saffron plant. And this is mixed with glycerin. This plant base is from the Hawaii farm, PHARM. And you'd have to muscle test or start out with a low dosage of maybe 3 to 4 drops, see how you feel for a few hours, and then move up the scale if it's not enough, back off if you don't feel you need it. It equals 10 grams of Prozac. I'm not kidding you. So don't all run out and buy it at once. But if you have issues with anxiety, if you have problems calming down with the other things that I talked about today and getting your diet in shape. Remember, it starts with diet. If your potassium levels are low, you're going to be susceptible to more depression and illness, anxiety. Because then it throws off magnesium, calcium, and sodium. And those things are really, they support the cell structure. All the things that you need. They can take in information faster, quicker, better when your levels are balanced. So you want to get those things checked. Then the other things I talked about, the amino acids, the GABA, the neurotransmitter, the L-theanine amino acid is really great to just take the edge off. And you can also do lithium orotate, OROTATE. It's over the counter, 3 to 5 milligrams. But too much of that, again, can have the opposite effect. So you have to kind of go with these certain minerals and what they do for you. Does this make sense? Is this helping you? Let me know while I take a sip. And in the comments section, I'm going to put where you can go to get calm. If you don't already have this, it's my Bodhi Brainstorm. So I put a link there. And it's a download for a PDF and also an audio. You must use headphones. I made this myself. It's got theta waves, beta waves, alpha waves, and some delta waves, and it goes through waves. So it kind of works with your neurotransmitters and the RAF, the reticular activating system, which is at the center of your brain. It's the tiniest part of your pinky. It looks like that size. And it vibrates whatever you want it to. Whatever you're thinking, that's what it outputs. So the Bodhi Brainstorm helps to get it a little bit more regulated so that you're not panicked or in fear. Or, oh my God, what are we going to do? I can't get up. I'm so tired. I'm so depressed. So all these things we talked about are going to help you and in moderation. Again, if you have any questions, let me know about anything we just talked about. Good. I'm glad it makes sense. Now, if you have questions, let me know and I will clarify. In the meantime, I am going to move this plate over this way. And then I'm going to talk about a few other things you can do other than ingest something. Also, aromatherapy. All over my desk I have what helps me. Frankincense is really wonderful. If you mix it with a carrier oil like a fractionated coconut oil or a jojoba oil, you can apply it to your neck or to places where you can, on your hands, but if you're not going to be typing or touching anything. And it really has a very powerful therapeutic and medicinal component that helps bring you out of funk and into, oh, I feel so grateful. I've been working with all these things and crystals as well. So anything orange, citrus, lemon balm, lemongrass, even some people even vibe really well with grapefruit. So essential oils, as long as they are not made with solvents. So you want to research that too and find out. And it's going to be a little more pricey, but in the long run, you won't get sick. So that's really important. Now, let me just check in with everybody. Lindsay says, I'm taking so many notes and realizing I used to take a lot of these products, but fell off. Right? We go around the circle. I'll see something, read something, go to a store or something and say, oh, wow, look at that. I used to drink that all the time. And, it really helped me feel better or calmer, more aware. When did I stop? So we replace things, with different things. And then we try something new and then we come back to it. That's what retrogrades are for. The past comes back in a retrograde. Okay. And let's see, what else do we want to talk about? And I'm going to pull a happy card for everybody too. Okay, so things you can do. Let's recap. The vitamins and minerals are important. And a multivitamin is really not so great because it has a lot of synthetics and fillers that you don't need. But you don't need to buy, a storefront of stuff. What you need the most is based on your lab work, and that's important to get. But vitamin D3, K2, potassium, magnesium, and especially if you're eating, avocados is also a great source. People think bananas, but it's got a lot of sugar. So avocados is a great source of potassium as well. So is salmon, but you want wild caught, never Atlantic. Atlantic does not come from the Atlantic Ocean. It comes from a farm. And in farm-raised fish, there are lice, so they use detergent to get rid of that, and then eventually it gets sent to the store and you eat that. Yeah. So think about it, right? All these little things in the environment are just like pulling away at you, and we can get a grip. It doesn't have to be an overwhelming thing, but these little things will make a huge difference. Okay, so herbs and tinctures, vitamin D. I'm looking at my notes, not the synthetic kind. Oh, here's something that is so easy to do, and it's so fun. Before you start your day, meditate, chant, get calm, do something nurturing for yourself, drink something yummy that's also healing. Chaga tea. It's called mushroom tea. It's not mushroom. It's a fungus that grows on the side of trees. And when sourced properly, it takes 8 hours to brew. They're like these big fat chunks. You take 2 of them, put them in a big soup pot, and you fill it with water. You set your timer. And then every hour, and you set it for 6 to 8 hours, and every hour or so you add more water to make sure. Put a little mesh screen on top. You don't want to boil it. It's got to simmer. So you boil the water. Put the chaga in, you simmer, put a little screen, splatter thing on top so that it can breathe and it doesn't boil. And at the same time, it's cooking and it's going. And it tastes like regular tea, like a mild tea. You can add anything you want to it, put it in shakes, add stevia to it, monk fruit, whatever you want. And it's huge on the healing scale. You can look it up, chaga, C-H-A-G-A. But also, gazing at baby animals. It is scientifically proven to lower cortisol. Yeah. Come on, let's all pretend. Like, what's your favorite animal? In the morning, it's like, yeah, puppies and kittens. I go right for the baby elephants. I look at baby elephants and I laugh and it makes me happy. Or baby monkeys jumping around. Baby lambs, because our dog Coda looks like a baby lamb when her hair is cut short. And people, it doesn't fail. I walk around the trail. People are walking. They stop and they go, "What is that? Excuse me. What is that yours? What is that?" Because we don't use a leash. She's trained and bonded to stay with. Plus, she's almost 15, so she's not going to go anywhere. And they go, "What is this? Is that a lamb? Is that a lamb?" I go, "No, it's a dog." But we used to call her our lammy dog. And then when the hair grows in, she looks like a baby bear. And people will say, wherever I go, it's like, "Is that a lamb?" Or, "Oh my God, is that a bear? What is that?" That's our dog Coda. Yes, dandelion greens. Thank you. That's what we talked about up earlier. Dark green vegetables. So you can do, I make a green shake every day. Thank you, Francis, for reminding me. I make a green shake for me and my husband, and in it goes a bunch of dandelion greens and the stems, some ginger, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, mixed greens, not too much spinach because I like to cook with that. If you have a thyroid issue, you want to have, you want to cook spinach, kale, that kind of thing, or else it can really deplete the thyroid. And Brussels sprouts, broccoli and broccoli sprouts, and cauliflower. Those things you want to cook. But in the shake, we put dandelion, mixed greens, some cucumber, a little zucchini, ginger, and lemon juice, and water. And we'll add green powders as well. So that kind of potassium throughout the day, not just glug, I'm done. And also Ultima powder is a vitamin powder that we use. It's pricey, but it's worth it. Doesn't have any fillers, has 0 sugar, 0 calories. It's just vitamins and minerals. And so I mix that, and I actually mix it with water, put them in an ice cube tray, and I eat them like, popsicles. So it's good to do that as well. Now, gaze at baby animals. Yeah. I want to cry. I'm so happy. When they roll around, baby lambs, they jump and then they kick up, and then they keep going. Fun things. All right. Now, EFT tapping. I've done videos on that before. If you're not familiar with EFT tapping, I can do another one. You can also look up my videos. In the meantime, you can journal. Breathing exercises. Inhale through the nose. Out of the mouth releases pressure. When you inhale through the nose with your mouth closed and you inhale and exhale out of your nose, it's an ujjayi yogic breathing. That is to increase power and strength. But first you got to get rid of the kakas, right? Let's do that. I chant with Devi Premal every day, or Tibetan monks. And the Gujo, the Gyuto monks. They have the real deep, like that. But it gets me going. Now, there's a neuro method I've talked about in previous meditations. My videos. What was that? Well, they are my meditations. And it's a very simple method. When you start to feel overwhelmed or you catch yourself in a mental pattern where you can't seem to get out of, and you've done everything else we've talked about, and you've done your own version of things, then what's really great to do is either or, combine or do them separately. Doesn't matter. They all have the same effect. You need to stop your neurons in their tracks. You clap your hands 5 times really loud. 5 times. You burst into song for 5 seconds. Or you jump up and down 5 times. Or you do a combo. Jump up and down and sing, jump up and down and clap. And what it does is it stops your neurotransmitters from sending out the same frequency that's I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, I'm so stuck, nothing's going to happen, I can't do it, this is crap, I hate my life, blah, 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 blah. And then you have a moment of pause. Then what do? Then you take a nice deep breath, exhale out of the mouth, and you choose your next moment. I am love. I am supported. I am happy, even if in moments I'm not. I am pure conscious love. And you do that as often as you can remember to get into a pattern and a habit of ending the negatives and accentuating and activating the positives. Now, I'm still offering the Body and Soul package, and you can find the blue Book Now button. I'm not sure what you're looking at when you go to a Facebook Live because I don't do them myself. I just record them. So there ought to be a blue Book Now button on the page. If not, Dean will eventually post a link. Remember that when you are moving your energy, especially in a session with me, or you can listen to a session that you've had with me, it will reactivate. So don't just think it's a one-time thing. They last forever. I had a woman contact me after 9 years and just said, I finally found you. You got married and I wasn't looking. I didn't know that name. And I just wanted to tell you that what you told me 9 years ago was amazing. And then I found your tape and I listened. Yeah, tape. There's a clue. I found the tape recording and I listened to it again. And it was so appropriate to who I was then that I didn't hear the first time because that's not where I was. So I want you to just go over anything that we've talked about privately. If not, think about a Body and Soul package because it also comes with me helping you to deactivate karmic patterns in a fun way. And it comes with 90-day transits, which are astrological horoscopes based on your chart and what you can expect a week after the session. You'll get them for 90 days. So, hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Annette. I hope you listen to the replay. And if you are just joining me and you're listening to my talk about how not to take on too much and to keep taking on too much, and if this is a replay, then I want you to realize that this information is evergreen. And even though I talk about astrology as a mystic and a clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, and an empath intuitive. Yeah, that's like the list of scroll. How does that fit on a business card? I just put transformation on it. Transformation. And then I get into it when I'm working with people. But to move energy, you need to be present. And you need to be present with not just your body, right? And bringing up the energy, but also your mind and what you think is true and how sometimes that truth can stop you. And how you're drawn to certain things, but yet you may not act on them. And we all need to get over our own BS and own who we are and our own thoughts so that we can then turn around and put our true contribution into this world. Pure conscious love. Folks, that's who you are. You wake up with it, you argue with it, you feed it, you starve it, you ignore it, you make love to it, and then you go back to sleep and you dream with it. And then you wake up and do it all over again. Pure conscious love. That's the gig. One card before I go. And who was it? Bob Dylan, who used to sing, "One more cup of coffee before I go to the valley below." All right. Last comments. Me taking too much? Ha. Elizabeth? Ha. Capricorn moon? Ha. Capricorn rising, I am in that club. But no, I'm learning now. Mostly. I watched the finale of Stranger Things last night. Yeah. Now we're moving on to Billions. Awesome show. Paul Giamatti. I love him. Okay, so how not to take on too much. That's the focus for this. Thank you, universe. Please come through as I invite my angels and guides and spirits and star beings and light beings to give us some assistance here. And I hear a lot of laughter too. Is that you? Are you laughing at me? Okay. What is that suggestion? I pulled a suggestion card. I've already made 1,000,000 suggestions. And now it is, this is the suggestion. First, I pulled a suggestion card. I have a suggestion for you, the universe said. And I was like, okay, I just made $1 million. What does that mean? And then I pulled this one. The vibration card. Ooh, that's trippy. It's like the stars are on the card. Wow. The vibration card. That's what it is, folks. You are pure conscious love. And when you're not feeling pure conscious love, you're still that, but you're vibrating a certain frequency. How would you like to feel? Think about that. Put that into the world. And I will be back on... Who's singing? Sage is singing. I'll be back on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, Arizona time. You know, when the world changes clocks in autumn, Arizona does not. So then I'll be on mountain time because we just actually mountain will move back to us. Right now I'm on Pacific. So 10 a.m. Pacific and Arizona time, and figure out the rest. I so appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being and putting love into the world and taking care of yourself, because what you put out into this vibrational thing that we call the planet, I feel. And I'm feeling so happy right now. Thank you. It's because of you. Stay sparkly. I'll be back on Thursday. Be well.